Hi everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on my day 9 for my December daily. This was my last video you guys saw. I went ahead and did days 6 through 8, did a little tag, I did a little 4x6 pocket, and then I did a full page photo. So this is the back page of that. I just went ahead and adhered those two photos together back to back. This is a bokeh photo of my Christmas tree. I just used I use my phone. I'm not sure if you can do it on all phones, but my phone does have a pro mode where you can change the aperture settings. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but if you Google it, it comes up. It's really simple to do. And yeah, so this is what it ended up looking like. I'm really pleased with it, especially as my wall was like messy. It had paint swatches on it, so you know the background of my photo wasn't particularly attractive, so the bokeh shot just shows you the tree without going too much into detail. So that is just a full page photo, and this is one of my foundation pages you guys saw, this transparency with the tree over the top, and this is exactly how I wanted it to look. The tree sits right on the front and you have that little phrase on the bottom, and then when it's open it's really pretty as well. So I'm just super pleased with how that turned out. I don't think I'm going to do much at all to this photo. I did think about adding a few stickers, but I kind of like how it looks just with the transparency over the top. So I think I'm going to call that good and done. But I do also have my Nana's ornament to pop on this day. So this is the other side of day 9. It is a 3x3 2 pocket page protector. So I've got my number in there, and I've got this journal card as well, but I've actually got that in for that side. So what I'm thinking, I'm just gonna pull that out. So this is my photo. It's just a 3x3 that I printed out. Probably doesn't need much more than that as it is. I really like actually how, if you look at it, the cutouts on this match the cutouts on my little tree die cut, or my tree wood veneer, perfectly. They're little star cutouts. I did not plan that out. It's just a happy accident. So yeah, I kind of love how when it's open they kind of mirror each other. So I think I'm just going to pop that in there as it is, and then maybe my number can go right there. I did think about putting my number over on this page, but then when it's open over this side you'll just see the back, and I don't really like that. So I quite like that there. I'm not sure. I might actually put it... Actually, you know what I could do? I do have this little calendar in up here. So I could just circle the number 9. So it's a December calendar. This is from the Snow and Cocoa printable collection. It's just plain white. There's a couple of blue watercolor dots on there, but pretty plain otherwise. I could just circle the 9, which would be a cute idea. Otherwise I think I'm just going to put some pattern paper behind that and call day 9 good. So I'll probably bundle in day 9 and 10 together. Otherwise this is going to be a very short video. See, day 10 is my, I went for lunch with my husband. I don't have those photos printed yet. And then day 10 is my, day 11 rather, is my Christmas card. So for this day, I have my card, just, I punched some tabs and pop those in the rings, and then I've just popped my whole card in with this sleigh ride admission tab cut apart thing from crepe paper this year, because my Christmas card is a photo of my kids sitting in Santa's sleigh, and I really love my card. It was really pretty, lots of those really pretty pink tones, and then the pop of red on the front. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this tag yet, but I really want to get it on this day. I have these things pulled. I really like that card with the mistletoe, so I was thinking I will use that for photos of me and my husband at lunch. We're not in the photo together though, so that might be a bit odd, but I like it anyway. I'm going to try to make it work. And I have these bits. So I have this bit that just says sleigh mail, because yeah, again, sleigh. I have this little cute little envelope with, it's a chipboard piece from Rose Studio. It's got a little stamp on it. It says to Santa at the North Pole, but I don't know where I'm going to put that. I thought about using it as the stamp, but from Snow and Cocoa, it's got 10 cents airmail. I thought that might be really cute as my little stamp. I've got this Mary chipboard because I thought about putting that here as kind of like a page flip. So peeling off the sticky and just adhering it to the flap, so you could lift the flap up. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. So with no further ado, let's speed up and get into it, and we'll see how it progresses. Okay, so let's jump straight in. First thing I'm going to do is circle the number on my little calendar. So I've just pulled out a red felt pen, and I'm just going to go and do a couple of little messy circles around it. I think that's a cute way to add the date in. and I'm just going to pop that on one of these pieces of paper that I have in the paper pad, the Create Paper Hey Santa collection, just bits that I have cut into already. I like this green, so I'm just going to pop that on there so that it fits in the pocket, just with a bit of tape. I think that's all I do to this pocket, keeping it pretty simple. And that's pretty much that page done. I am going to muck around with this little Merry chipboard just for a second because it is going to be visible through my pocket there. So I do want to do something about that, but I'll come back to that in a minute. Now I flipped over to the next page and I pulled out that journal card that I want to use, and I'm just going to trim that down to size 3x3. I love these little 3x3 pockets. They've been really fun to use actually in this project. So now I'm going through and pulling out my photos for this day. So I want to use that photo of me, and then I have that photo of my husband as well that I'm going to pull out in a second. And I'm just trimming off that white border off all those photos. I tried to print them as close to 3 inches wide as I possibly could. I think this one ends up being a little too narrow, but that's okay. I run with it in the end because it's in a clear pocket, so you can't see all that well that it's not exactly the right size. I'm not too worried about it. So I've just used my paper trimmer there as a bit of a guide to score a line so I can fold my photo in half. A scoreboard is better, but I don't actually have one. It's on my list of things to get when I remember one of these days. So I've just scored that in half so I can make it into a little flip up. I just had too many photos for this one little pocket page protector, but I wanted to use the page protector and I didn't want to add any extra pages in. So I'm just going through and adding those, sticking those back to back. And then, so my photo will be the front of the pocket, and my husband's photo will flip up full length there. Now the issue with that is I'm working on the back side of this pocket, so there's no slot in the back. So to get around that, I am just coming in with my cutting mat and my craft knife, and I'm just going to use that slit on the front as a guide and just slice along that slit, and just making sure not to cut all the way through to the edges, so where the heat seal is. So that way it will all still stay together and I can use it to create that flip up on the other side. So pop my photo back in, and I will actually end up, I think I did it off camera, but you can see that photo is much bigger than the one on this side, so I end up pulling that out and trimming it down a bit. So, but essentially that's my flip up on that side. So there we go, I've taken it out and stuck my other photo on the back of that. So even though it's not quite the right size for the pocket, you can't really tell now that it's all together. So I am now going to work on this little section. I just wanted to add a spot to help you turn the page because it is a smaller pocket, smaller than the bigger pages, and I just kind of didn't want that merry chipboard showing through. I don't know why, it was just bothering me that you could kind of see through, but you couldn't tell what it was. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to adhere these two coloured pattern papers back to back. I've just punched them out with a 1-inch circle punch, adhere them back to back, and then I am going to staple them onto my page protector. And I've just realized just before I went to staple it that actually if I do that I won't be able to pull the card out to do my journaling, so I'm going to quickly go through and add my journaling on this card, and then I will be able to add the circle onto my page protector. Now the reason that I've adhered them back to back and then stapled them on the front of the page protector rather than sort of adhering them either side of the page protector is because if I stuck a circle to the back, I wouldn't be able to lift that flip up. So I'm just going to stick them back to back and put them on the front and staple. So I'm going to add my what's that? No, my date, my number. So this was the 10th, so I'm just going to use, I started adding glue and then I actually realized I wanted to just peel a bit more off the back. I have actually peeled most of the chipboard off the back of these numbers, but these, they still have a bit left, so they are more dimensional, so I just wanted to peel as much off as I possibly could. And then I'm adding a bit of wet glue and sticking them straight on top of the photo here. It's not anything important that I'm covering up, it's just the dish that we're eating, and you can still see most of it through the numbers, so I'm not worried about adhering that there. So slide that in, and now I'm going to add my little coloured circle to my page protector. I did add just a bit of adhesive to kind of hold it in place as I stapled it, and it still ended up crooked, so there's almost no point in doing that. But there we go, that is done. I am just going to add one of these cute little snow globes to the center just to help break up that big spot of red. There we go. And yeah, I do just add in this little magical die cut at the bottom. And because I've already stapled that page protector, I can't pull out the card, so I've just stuck it to the page protector. And now I am coming through with my little chipboard, and all I did was peel off half. The half that I wanted stuck to the flap, and the other half I left the paper on. So I just scored it with my craft knife, and that means that I don't have to like use a powder tool or anything. I can just leave that as it is. And I'm just adding some glitter washi to the strip of the envelope because I had that like peely strip sticky bit that looked a bit ugly, so I decided to just add some washi over that. And there's my card. I'm not going to do anything to the card, I decided. I'm just going to leave it as is, but I am just going to pop this sleigh ride admission at the bottom of the envelope here. And yeah, that just really ties in with my Christmas card theme. So there we go. And my number, so I'm just going to stick this to the top of the envelope flap just the same way with some tacky glue, and you get to see a nice shot of the top of my head there. Now I'm going to flip it over and just add some cute little decorations to the front of the envelope here. I'm just going to add my little crepe paper snow and cocoa stamp, super cute little polar bear, and then I'll just flick through my die cuts. I'll find a couple of good ones that I really like. This says Merry Christmas to you and your family, which is perfect obviously for a Christmas card, and then this little cut apart just says sleigh mail, so again perfect. So I'm just going to stick those on. That's all I'm going to do, just with my tape. Very simple, but better than a plain white envelope. And that is these days finished. So I'm just going to flip back to the start and do a slow little flip through for you. And there are some close-up shots coming up at the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry these videos have been delayed. I've been unwell, so that's why it's taken me so long to get them up, but they are all going to eventually be up. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for watching today. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.